Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Bleiidd here. Today we're gonna speak about Athelflaed. So I managed to get all sculptures. We're gonna max her out. We go through the skills and we're gonna take a look on the possible talent builds and the possible pairings that we can use her. So we have here, as you guys see, I have 81 sculptures. We're gonna max her out. So we have now all skills at level 5 and now we get the expertise. So let's take a look at the skills. Let's start with the first skill. Arrow of Iron. Deals damage to up to 5 enemies in a forward facing fan-shaped area. Damage factor 800. Reducing their attack, defense and health by 30% for the next 2 seconds. So we have here AoE commander that can deal damage up to 5 enemies, damage factor 800. I wish for a legendary commander that their skill damage would be a little higher, around the factor 1000. That would be a good skill damage, I think. But we have here also some debuffing. Basically she reduces the attack, the defense and the health by 30% of your enemy's troops for 2 seconds. So this is a very, very strong buff that she activates after a skill damage, and then it is activated for 2 turns, basically 2 seconds. Now we go to our second skill, Thunderous Force. Counterattack damage against your troops is reduced by 20%. When actively attacking, you have a 10% chance to reduce the movement speed of enemy cavalry by 50% and the movement speed of other troops by 30%. Slow effect lasts 3 seconds. So here, again, when our troops are being attacked, the counterattack damage that Athelflaed troops will get will be reduced by 20%. And when we are actively attacking, so we start the attack, we have a 10% chance to reduce the movement speed of cavalry by 50% and other troops like infantry, archers, siege by 30%. Now we go to the third skill, Synergy. All troops under your command gain attack plus 30% against barbarians and other neutral units, and all commanders get experience plus 35%. So here we get a bonus damage against barbarians. Other neutral units means forts, or if we're doing some Karawak bosses. Now we get also experience bonus from barbarians, 35%, what is pretty good. Let's go to the skill number 4. When this commander leads a rally attack, all armies joining the rally have a 10% higher troop limit. When this commander is leading at least 3 different troop types, their damage is increased by 20%. So basically, Athelflaed's rallies will have 10% more capacity. So basically you can take more troops when you rallying a target, either if it is a barbarian fort or city or another structure. And when this commander is leading at least 3 different troop types, their damage is increased by 20%. This means when she leads and doesn't say if it is only rallies or also solo, if she has 3 different type of troops, basically you will gain a bonus damage of 20%. So this is also for mixed troop based armies. a very good bonus. I don't know if it is something that I personally would use. I would say if you are starting in the beginning of this game now, like you just started as a new player, I would say that would be good. But again, you probably also as a new player, you will not have this commander maxed out any soon, due to that you have to finish the expedition to get all the chests, then you have to make sure you get a lot of credits daily, save them to buy the 3 sculptures you get every day. So again, for me personally, I wouldn't use her with 3 different type of units. Maybe in the canyon event, that might be a place where maybe applying this can benefit on these battles. But player versus player, I honestly think that one type of troops would always be better, especially with Aethelflaed actually as a second in command, and then this kind of skill would not activate or be active since she would be in second in command. Now we go for the expertise, and this is the skill that I was hoping to get. That's why I'm kind of hyped of maxing her out. Warrior Queen, deal an extra 20% damage to enemies who have been slowed. So every time she slows the enemy's troops, she will deal another extra 20% damage. Before I go to the pairings, again, I would like to discuss the talent builds. This would be the talent tree that I am using at the moment. I don't use her for anything else than peacekeeping at the moment. Now, I decided to go with this, only these talents on the peacekeeping tree. And basically the reason why I don't go further is because this skill right here, and I'm going to show you guys, double-edged sword, increases the damage dealt to barbarians and neutral units by 5%, and increases damage taken from those units by 5%. So basically she will do more damage, but also the damage that she will take raises with that talent too. So for me it's important that I keep her more tankier if possible. So that led for me on going with the leadership talents, kind of increasing attack, defense, and some healing. And on the support tree, for me also, again, I took here loose formation, if I'm not mistaken. Exactly, reduces skill damage taken by 9%, again making her a little tankier. Then I decided to go with Rejuvenate to instantly restores 150 rage whenever a skill is used. So every time she uses her skill, she will restore 150 rage. This is the talent build that I would use for her. Now, on the PvP side, this would be the PvP build that I would use on her. But again, I also wouldn't advise to use her as a first in command, due to that she is a leadership commander. If you are in an older kingdom and you have been playing for a year, you will be fighting against strong opponents, and I recommend to go with only one type of troop. So if you don't have other options better than Athelflaed to use as a leading commander, then I say okay, go with her. But again, I would not recommend. So let's go with the pairings. Now I did some testing again. Now that she's maxed, I will be able probably to do or test better options, but this is On the theory side, those are for PvP the pairings that I recommend, and on PvP, very important, I recommend to use Aethelflaed as a secondary commander. So I would pair her with Richard, for the reason that Richard and Aethelflaed are very tanky, and during KVK, even though she was not on expertise, when my Richard was being swarmed, she was dealing damage, and I didn't expect for this pair to hold so strong against more than one opponent. So the AoE that she brings for the pairing with Richard, with the defense build that I use, kinda gave me good results on get some kills very quickly. But the reason why I tried this pairing was because I always have a tanking army and 4 nuking armies. She kinda debuffs other armies when she is being attacked. Richard will slow troops down, and when she slows the enemy troops down, she kind of will do that 20% extra damage on the troops, what is kind of amazing. And with her first skill, the debuffing, every time she does a skill, she kind of gonna reduce attack, defense, and health of the enemy troops. So if you have your 4 nuking teams, then hitting one of these troops at the same time, that army just melts down like butter. Like it's pretty amazing. So this would be the first pairing that I kind of recommend. And if you take notice, if you look at the pairings that I have here for PvP, Richard, Taltal, Babers, those are commanders that reduce the marching speed of other enemy troops, so that I kind of am able to help activate her expertise skill. That's what you want to do if you use Aethelflaed, because she has strong, very strong debuffs. It's not even that she has a very strong damage skill, but the debuffs kind of bring something to the pairing and the army that kind of helps. As I said, if you take 4 to 5 armies out there on the battlefield, she kind of gonna help debuff those enemy armies, and with your full force of nukers, you can take those armies down really fast. With Taltal, you have the reduction of the march speed. He also kind of brings the skill damage, even though he doesn't have the skill talent tree, but you can use him in the cavalry talent tree. And with the debuffs and AoE that Aethelflaed brings with her, kind of make these both also a good pairing. Babers will activate the expertise skill of Aethelflaed because he reduces the march speed. Every time Babers activates his skill, you're going to reduce the march speed of the enemy troops. And then you have 2 commanders here that do use AoE. So basically, this kind of, for me, made sense to pair them also together. But the best, in my experience, that I have until now for PvP was the Richard Aethelflaed pairing. Now, on the PvE side, basically you could pair Aethelflaed with almost every commander, I would say. I kind of made a list of commanders that make sense for me, in my opinion, that I would use her on PvE. And this is about it for today's video. Again, I hope I kind of could explain in a good way, understandable way, my opinions, my ideas. And again, if you have any knowledge that you might want to share with me, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and that's about it, guys. Bye bye.